Hey, are you a League player that's tired of League or maybe bored and you might want to try something new? Well, you always have Dota, and League is pretty much where it came from. So this is the original game that League was designed to be. So basically what happened, League is the simpler version of Dota. Some basic things if you want to come to this game, like the basic concepts are still the same. Like you want to get as much farm as possible, you want to kill the enemy, and you want to destroy enemy ancient, the throne or nexus. But there are some things in this game where you would not really expect coming from MOBA, and it would be like, oh, what the fuck, this is how it works. There are 3 lanes in Dota. So one is the off lane, one is the safe lane, and one is the mid lane. So mid lane minions meet equally, and off lane is called the suicide lane, and that basically means your minions, your wave will meet under enemy tower, and tower give they give bonus armor and health regen when you're under there. So it's basically the top lane of Dota is way more punishing because you are already from level 1 disadvantageous position. Also, there are no junglers in Dota as well, because I was like, what the fuck, wait, I'm laning with the support. And so it's 2 lanes are 2v2 and 1 lane is 1v1, so there's no jungler. Everyone can technically jungle and farm camps if your hero has the ability to, like the guy I'm playing right now is Underlord. Some characters need like a certain power spike or a certain level to farm, like it really depends. Hey, most people that watch aren't subscribed. Also, if you want the greatest guide for tanks made by man, Patreon below. Subscribe to both. Goodbye, watch video. So I think one of the core things that you probably should know when you're playing Dota, if you want to pull minions, normally in League, if you hit an enemy like this, the minions will aggro you and start hitting you, right? You see the casters are hitting me. But in Dota, that can happen even if you're not even hitting the guy. So you see, if I right click on the enemy Underlord, the minions would pull to me, and now I pulled them on my caster creeps. So the minions are psychic. They know your intention. Now here's the real fucky part. If I wanna pull the wave, I could right click this guy and the minions come after me, right? So they could be mid lane, they could be top lane, they could be literally anywhere on the map, and the minions are fucking psychic. So that's number 1 thing that I noticed that I was like, what the fuck? You can also deny minions in this game. So how denying minions works is if a minion is below 50% HP, you can start hitting it. This is also like really good if you want to freeze a lane. You just hold the minions here, and if they get below 50% HP, you can hit them. And one big tip for like CSing and last hitting is since there are turn rates in this game, so if I want to go from right to left, you see it takes a while for my character to do that. But if you want to CS better, you just click on the minion so that your champion is already in the direction of the minion, and then you just start doing this shit with the enemy, so where you're both like spamming stop command, so you both start spamming stop command and see whoever gets the creep. So that's that I think is really fun mind game they can play with your enemy of who gets the minion or not. And I think I had a game with Axe. I had so many denies, like the enemy carry couldn't play and he quit the game level 3 just because I was hitting all the last hits and I was hitting every deny. And obviously there are some heroes with really shitty auto attacks, so it's easier to do. There are some with really good auto attacks. Like it really, you gotta know every champion's auto attack timer and whatever just to deny. So this is just farming. You can also pull camps onto waves. So in a real game, LxVer will probably show you a clip. There are 3 lanes in Dota. So one is the off lane, one is the safe lane, and one is the mid lane. So mid lane minions meet equally, and off lane is called the suicide lane. There are 2 jungle camps when you are laning. They can be pulled into the wave. So you basically, the enemy wave that comes just crashes and you can freeze the next wave. So you basically just farm safely. Camps spawn at every minute. So if it's 5 minutes now, they will spawn right now. That's why Dota is much more farming oriented, is because there's so much gold and XP and farm on the map that, you know, there's just too many resources on the map. So you just gotta, you're kind of just like farming everything. Camps can be blocked by wards. And if you're on top of the camp won't spawn as well. But this would normally be a support job. But if you're starting out right? It's better that you do this stuff yourself because supports probably won't do it for you. If you want your camp to spawn but it's not spawning, that means that the enemy put a ward on there. You need to clear that ward and then it will spawn on the next 1 minute timer. So if it didn't spawn on 5 minutes, it's gonna spawn on 6 minutes. And there are 2 wards in this game. And wards are shared with your teammates. So it's observer ward and sentry ward. They hold a slot in your inventory and they can be swapped by like pressing the same button twice. So if I have a camp and I put a ward inside the camp, that camp will no longer spawn as long as the ward is there. But sentry wards are basically like control wards, and they can spot other wards or other invisible stuff on the map. So if it's like a Teemo, right, you would be able to see Teemo with this, but not with the observer. Observer just gives vision. You also have scanning. This is a global team shared cooldown. So if you have no vision of somewhere, right, and you want to see if there are enemies, like if you're doing an objective or if you think the enemy is doing an objective, this would be like the blue ward in League. You can use the scan, and the scan means people in the area when it's red, and when it's green it means no enemies. But it's a team shared cooldown, just remember to use it. And then next you have the glyph, which is a 5-minute cooldown, and it makes every creep and tower on the map immune. And some towers will get, instead of shooting 1 minion, they will shoot multiple targets. So if I press this glyph, now every wave will be pushing better because they're immune, and the towers will be clearing waves and they won't be taking damage. So you have to kind of, I mean, in lower elo, like when you start the game, people will not be using this. So just remember that you can use it too. Anyone can use it on the team to just make your towers immune. And there's also daytime and nighttime cycles in this game. So that in nighttime you're gonna have way less vision. And I don't know honestly what else, but some characters can manipulate this. So like Night Stalker, he's a like strength hero that if it's nighttime he gets like a bunch of bonuses or whatever, right? And some characters, I think it switched from nighttime to daytime with some ults like Phoenix could, but I'm not sure if that's still a thing. But basically nighttime means you can get ganked way easier, people can roam on you and you won't probably see it because there's just very little vision on the map. So I mean, those would be some like core concepts of the game, but like the main thing you want to do, farm as much, deny as much, get to your item power spikes. And that's another thing that I'm not even good at, because the itemization in Dota is a lot harder than in League, just because you have so many more options to go. Like you can basically build anything and it works. It just depends on the game and what you need, right? And I'm not really good at, because I don't know all the items yet. I don't know what combinations you can do. I mean, there are some characters that always build the same shit, but the itemization in this game is a lot more wide open, and draft, I'd say, matters way more than League, because there are some heroes that if you pick them in the correct draft, they will completely take over the game. Like if you don't have any AoE and they pick like a Meepo or something, or if you don't have any way to deal with that, they will just literally 1v5. Or if they have a life stealer, which is like an anti-tank that also gets really tanky, and he also can't be CC'd. Like, things in this game can really just fuck you over. Like, even if you play really well, if one guy has a really good draft and he gets left some space to farm, they will kind of be impossible to kill. So that's where I was like, oh, that guy just killed all of us. I mean, that's why you have to pay attention to draft a lot more, so shit like that doesn't happen. You can also deny towers in this game. So if your tower is low HP, instead of the enemy getting gold for it, you can literally kill your own tower just so they don't get it. You can also kill your own teammates if they have like a poison effect or a dot on them. Like, let's say Singed Q or Teemo Dart would be on your League, you know, ally, and they're dying, GG, you know, you're dead. In Dota, you can kill them if you force a click. And I think there's a setting for attacking or force attacking somewhere where you can attack. Yeah, okay, right click allies to attack. So you want to have this instead of to deny, because this would be used only for minions, right? But you can also just attack minions not for denying, just to make them lower, or you can attack allies. Also, there are minions in this game. There is the casters are usually the most important ones to get because they give the most gold and XP. So you want to prioritize getting the caster and denying the enemy caster from your enemy laner. And some minions, if it's a flag bearer creep, they have magic resist, aura, and extra magic resist on the wave. So if I press my Q on Underlord, this Q would deal a lot of damage, right? But if there's a creep with a flag on it, my Q won't deal as much towards it and the wave. Also, these catapults are really fucking tanky, so it's very easy to miss this cannon, right? I just fucking missed it. But see, this is the flag bearer creep. The flag bearer creep inspired all allied creeps, granted them bonus health regen and magic resist. So yeah, the magic resist just makes it harder to last hit, and you know, it just makes your spells deal less damage. I think I'll just talk about the objectives. So in League you have Baron and Dragon, right? So Dota's version of Baron is Roshan, which is literally reversed. But what Roshan does is he gives any person on your team a revive. You want to usually put this on the carry or whoever is going to be walking up to siege the tower, or who's most likely to die first and who would have the most value in getting the revive out. Roshan does not give a bonus to everybody. It just gives the bonuses to one guy and just make him really strong. But to pick this up, you have to kill Roshan and you have to have a free slot on your inventory. So you would probably take out an item or a component, and you can put components, like when you buy them, you can put them on your backpack. So they don't give you any stats here, you're just holding them. And every time this guy dies, he will give you other bonuses. So that would be a banner of command, with banner of Roshan, which would make your wave immune. So if you push, the wave doesn't fucking die unless they kill the banner. So if you push with that, and then they try to kill the banner, and then you go kill them, you win, right? Well, you won't win, you'll just get the enemy inhib or barracks. Every time you get Roshan, he gets more and more bonuses. After, I think every subsequent Roshan will give like a refresher shard, which basically refreshes every cooldown on your inventory and your spells, literally everything you have. I mean, there's also an item that does that, which is refresher orb, but they share cooldown. So basically, if I use my Q and I use my ult, right, I could use the refresher orb to just get my cooldowns back, but it costs 400 mana, so you need a lot of mana to do that. So yeah, my ult is like a global portal. I could use my Q and my W, and then I can refresher orb, and I can W, Q, and ult again, right? There are a lot of nuts items in this game. Like I think the items and you also have this what makes your champion specifically stronger is you have a scepter that you can buy, which is Aghanim scepter and Aghanim shard. So every hero has different effects with these items, and you get like special bonuses. So for my hero, if I buy the scepter, my AoE root becomes much bigger, and my global root, my global portal, becomes a global portal plus root. So if I get the scepter and the shard, let's say you're fighting here, you were insta-rooted globally. This game is fucking crazy effects. And my shard makes my firestorm, my Q, fall faster and just more DPS, and it also can follow certain heroes. So this Underlord moves, I clicked on him, he will move around as well. So the next objective would be Tormentor. Roshan and Tormentor can spawn on either side of the map, and they swap around during daytime and nighttime. So what this guy gives is, it gives the two lowest income people on your team, it gives them a free Aghanim shard, and you get a little bit of gold. Same thing for Roshan, you all get a little bit of gold, but the effect is the main thing. So a free shard, that's like 1.4k gold. So if you all group for it and you kill it, a support can get a really broken shard that they normally wouldn't be able to afford. And it can turn the game, you know, if it's a really good shard, they can just, you know, it's good, right? But you have to group for it. So there's also one big tip if you're laning. If you have like an item that gives you health and you want to heal up with your version of potions, so if you have like a healing salve, what you would do is, this gives me strength, so strength is what gives you HP in this game. This also gives me +3 strength, so I would put that onto my inventory, and then I'd use this thing, which heals you really fucking fast. but it's flat healing, so you would heal more if you just put these items back in your inventory. Because you see, if I have more health, it's gonna take longer to heal, right? It's kind of the same as Ornn passive, where the higher HP you are, the more you're gonna get out of the health, and the lower HP you are, the less you're gonna get out of a ruby crystal. The items in this game, they're all really fucking good, and they're all broken, and they all have their uses. So itemization in this game, you just can never be good at it, or like it will take a long time for you to like be, I get it now. But once you do get it, I think it's really fun. Once you understand like what fucks over their items and what fucks over, you know, like there's so many interactions in this game. It's genuinely just insane. But I played mostly tanks. So I was just building like, magic resist, anti-heal, whatever. But the items I cannot teach because I just know simple shit. So the next concept in this game is buybacks. So what buybacks are is basically your safe way to just come back to the game. Like if you all die, you can buy back, spend some money, and you instantly respawn. And you typically want to save money for this buyback once you know that, okay, if I die, game's most likely over. So this is one of the reasons why games take so long to end in this game, because in League, the only version of buyback would be Akshan kills somebody and they all get rezzed. But that shit got nerfed, or it can only be once, but like everyone has buyback. And you have the concept of high ground and low ground. So you see, when I'm on lower ground, I can't see shit, but when I'm on high ground, I can see everything, right? So imagine here is the entire enemy base that you want to siege with tower that all give bonus armor, MR, regen, right? So this is why it's really hard to siege, because you have to get vision of this area. And when you're on low ground, you have way lower chance to hit an enemy. Like your attacks can miss if they are on high ground. So if I put this guy on high ground, I mean, my auto can miss, but it's kind of gamba. Especially, I think if you range, then you want to hit somebody on high ground, that your auto attacks can miss. Like that, there is some pseudo RNG in this game. But yeah, so that's why games take so long in Dota. It's because the base is really hard to siege, as in League, where it's like, oh, they are dead for 20 seconds, your entire base is gone. Right? And it's very, very hard to come back. Like in League, if you win early, you're most likely gonna win mid game, you're gonna win late game, and the game's just over, right? In Dota, you have way more chances to come back and scale and, you know, just protect your base. And this game doesn't work more like it's more like an RTS, where it's just a strategy game rather than just like a complete fighting game like League is. So you have more brain being used on Dota. But I would say that the mechanics, I mean, you have a lot of mechanics with like denying creeps. Like there's honestly way more micro early, but I think the spell casting is just, it costs so much mana. Like imagine I'm level 1. Like my Q costs 110 mana, and it has a 16-second cooldown. So if I'm laning, I can only use this thing twice. But you can also buy mana, and obviously you get mana from leveling up, right? But you have to conserve your mana a lot more and be a lot more thoughtful of your spell usages. But there are not a lot of skill shots that you really need to be worried about landing too much. Most of the spells in this game are either point and click or pretty simple to cast, right? There's no like, oh, quadruple brittle Ornn combos where you need to land everything. You know, it's a lot more simpler, but it's just a lot more brain on how you use the things. So I use Q 3 times the amount of mana, and also the shop system in this game. So basically, there is no recalling. Well, you do have a town portal scroll that you can buy. So this is your teleport, and it costs mana to use. And you can use this to go to any friendly building. So like a tower, or there are jungle camps on the map where you can teleport basically on your own blue buff or red buff. But the portal has the TP has 80-second cooldown, and it costs mana. So if you want to go back but you just lack mana, you can buy mana potions, or you can buy the mango that gives you mana if you need instant mana and some health regen, right? If you're lacking health but you have some mana, you can buy a healing salve, right? You can just buy stuff, and there will be a little donkey that flies that will take it to you. So, but if you're, you know, both low HP and low mana, you can also farm your way back to base, or you can TP base if you want, and you just go home, right? And the more people that are in a lane, the longer this teleport gets. So if there are like 5 people fighting mid, instead of the TP taking 3 seconds, it will take like 6 seconds. Or 5 or longer, right? So normally it will be 3 seconds if you're just gonna go back to lane or if you're gonna go base. So you always want to be carrying a lot of town portal scrolls. Well, not a lot, you just don't want to be carrying none, because you can use them to TP out of a fight or TP in a fight, right? You always want to be carrying these. And typically you don't want to recall unless you're just really low and you can't lane, and you can't also buy a salve, or your courier is, you know, already going back, because for the courier to buy items, they have to be at the shop, and there are 2 shops in this game. So one would be a secret shop, and one would be the shop in your base. So the shop in your base gets normal items, and the secret shop gets big items. So secret shop has these like big gigantic components. So you can either walk up to the shop yourself, and it's, if you're on the bottom side of the map, it would be top lane, and if you're on the right side of the map, it would be on bot lane. So it would be next to your tier 1 tower. So you can buy these components there, but they're like super expensive. But I mean, not super expensive, but they're the big components of this game. So you need to be near the secret shop, or you can send the courier to the secret shop and it can go automatically, and it can just bring the items to you. Like if you press Control Shift, like you can queue items and the courier will just automatically get them for you, so you don't have to do the buying. And if you just want to finish an item that you don't have queued, you can just press Shift and they just get finished. There are also portals on each top and bot side of the map, which are called Waygates. They cost mana to use, and they take you from top to bot, from bot to top. So what supports can do is they can take a Waygate from top lane, gank bot lane, come back. So on the map there are lotuses, right? So this is where the lotuses will spawn, and these are the Waygates that I was talking about. So every 3 minutes lotuses will spawn. They give you health and mana. So around the every 3 minute timer, you want to be fighting over these, because they can really help you in the lane, right? For mana, so you don't have to buy anything from the shop. And also the courier, like if you buy anything now, the courier will walk. But after a couple of minutes, I think after 3 minutes, the courier will not walk to you, he'll start flying, so he'll be faster. And as you can see, it's nighttime. This is usually the time where people go to their lanes and are looking for invades. When the game starts, bounty runes will spawn on the map, and these give gold to your team globally. So most people would group level 1 and try and take as much of these runes as you can. Some people can invade, right? You can group as 5, but you know, I'm playing offlane, I'm playing top lane, so I just kind of stand here if we're not looking for an invade, and I'll just collect this rune, right? So around 3 seconds, you'll just walk up. If anyone comes, you cast a spell and you get the rune or whatever. But these spawn every 4 minutes, and the lotuses spawn every 3 minutes. Also, you can buy items in this game before the lobby starts. So if you know, you're queuing up, you can just buy items from here. And you also should be using the champion guides that you have here, and you should probably use them by patch. So right now it's 740C, and I've been using the guides of Sour Potato. So this guy basically makes guides for League players because they're simpler to use, simpler to understand. You don't have like a shit ton of actives. Your brain, you know, won't use much, because you can't be using advanced items or actives that you have no clue about. So you just start small and you like slowly build up to it, to just the more you understand the game. So you lane with a support and you want to take the bounty runes, right? You want to get as much CS as you can. You want to deny. You want to just get as much gold as possible. And there's also a blank dagger. So this item is probably, if this was in League, it would be completely broken, right? But in Dota, if everything's broken, nothing is broken. And this is a flash that has Like I can blink from here to this tree here, right? It's a pretty gigantic radius and everyone has it on a 15-second cooldown. And as you can see, like the bots would fight over the bounty rune, right? But they have a sniper, so the sniper can just spam his Q and it's like gigantic AoE, but he's just standing still and dying. But normally, you know, a 5v5 would happen and over these bounty runes because it's global gold for the team. So you want to be getting these and then you want to be going to your lane. So safe lane, this would be the safe lane, is the suicide lane. So your wave would meet here and bot lane is where you put the carry because they farm the safest and your lane would not. So I'm not sure if they give the armor and health regen to towers anymore. It is there. Armor increased by 3 and health regen increased by 1. So if you stay under your tower, you will be way tankier and harder to kill, right? How you would pull the wave is I right click this guy, right? And now I can farm the wave safely, and also this caster I can deny it, right? Or he can't walk up and get it. So I can keep doing that and just keep pulling this melee. Well, I have nothing to pull it to, but see how he starts chasing me and then he goes back to the minion. You kind of have to get used to the aggro of the minions, right? Like there are the camps here that you can pull. So when the next wave comes, I can pull this camp. I mean, I should be farming right now, but I'm just showing because this is a bot lobby. You have to time like around the wave comes that you pull the camp. And if you have Dota Plus, it will show you when to pull. So I'm just kind of guesstimating that I need to pull now. But see, the minions now are aggroed on the camp. Well, see, I fucked up the pull because I don't know how to do the pull. So the only objective you're going to be fighting over in lane would be CS, denying, hitting the enemy with spells, right? And the lotus that spawns at 3 minutes. So you would just be looking to poke or whatever, right? And you would be getting your items. So if I control shift or whatever, I get this item, I queue them up, right? And if they have that gold icon, that means that the courier will instantly buy them. And if they don't, then he won't buy them. So you can just queue them like this. Or, you know, you can just not queue them and just leave them here like this and be like, oh, okay, I need this item now. I get it. But if you're starting, it's probably good so you don't have to think about it too much. And you can just focus on just farming and right clicking. But see, a lotus spawned, right? And I can get this. And it gives me health and mana, right? That's how the lane will work. Mid lane is also the only 1v1 lane in this game. So 2v2, 2v2, and then 1v1 lane. And mid lane is honestly the most impactful because they get more XP. They have access to like power runes, which you can get here or here. And they just are way stronger early than everyone else. With offlane being like, my goal as an offlaner is to make the enemy safe laner not farm, make him not have an easy time. I want to get them like my mid-game power spike, and I just want to make as much action happen, make them not farm, and create as much space as possible. For mid lane, they want to just fucking kill everyone everywhere on the map, roam, get runes, right? But that's some of the stuff about Dota that you probably wouldn't know. There's a lot of shit in this game, man. Like, a lot. Like, it took me, like, I'm challenger in league, and I got to legend, I got to ancient, demoted. We don't talk about how I demoted, but it took me like 2 months just to get some basic stuff down, and I still don't know. Like, I still haven't played most of the heroes. You can also, if you're not familiar with the range of the spells or your auto attacks, you can also show the indicators. So if I level my W here, I have W, this would be the indicator of how much my W can reach. And I think you can do that on your auto attack as well. So you can learn your auto attack range of your hero. So if you alt right click on, I press it on my auto attack here, I can just see it. And if you have like a range spell and if you have the mana for it, you always want to be getting the caster because it's a lot of XP and gold. So I think that's mostly everything. I mean, I didn't cover the items, but this is Blink Dagger, so an item that most people get. So this is the range of this, and you know, you just instantly flash, right? It's a very long range flash on a 15-second cooldown, and if you're in combat, like if an enemy's hitting you, you can't use it. that would be too OP. But you need to be 3 seconds out of combat. So see this Dawnbreaker stop using me. I can like blink out and like just run away, right? So she just can't reach me anymore. So yeah, that would be it. The rest of the items, you could probably watch other videos and learn them, but that's the basic stuff of Dota. So you have CSing, denying, camp pulling, your spells cost a lot of mana, and the turn rate. Some heroes have faster turn rates, depends on their model, but like the guy I was playing earlier, Underlord, that guy was really fucking slow. And there are also characters that can slow your turn rate, like a Bat Rider, so it makes your character feel really, really slow, right? But it's a mechanic of the game, right? So you kind of just have to get used to that. Like, I think the one thing that would turn off a lot of League players would be the turn rate, like how fast the character turns. But the best tip to avoid that is to just already have your auto attack or character aimed towards your target, so you don't end up missing CS. Like if I'm on the left and I go to auto attack, you see I miss because of the turn rate, because my character has to turn around and hit it. But if I'm already facing, there's no turning, it's just much smoother to just auto attack like that. So you see, you just gotta use the stop command. I think the characters in this game and the glyph system, I mean the aghanim system, I really like that. It just makes your hero feel cooler and you have more spells, you know, just have fancier effects. Like I think League should probably have that, because it just makes your character feel cooler, that you have like a sort of level up. You also have the talents, so every level 10, level 15, 20 you get special talents for your character. So you can get damage, you can get slow on this spell, or I can get damage on this spell. Like it really depends what you want. You can look at guides. The guides tell you what to take. Like I think the guide system here is really good for new players, because you can use like any guide for any position 3 would be offlane. Like there would be support guides. You know, you just use these guides to just learn different stuff of where you're playing your hero, right? But I really recommend the sour potatoes guides, because they're the ones I used when I started, and they work pretty well, because they're pretty general and simple to use. For simple League players, no brain needed. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. I mean, I probably missed out on a lot of shit, but I'm just saying the ones I know and that I didn't know at first. Right, because I was normally just trying to fight everything, right? But in Dota, it's more of a farming game. It's slow and steady, and you just really have to be careful when you're sieging enemy base, and you do not throw there, because the enemy can come back. Like if you think, oh, this game's won for sure, it's not. It's really not. Like you have to really be careful, because coming back into this game can happen very easily. But yeah, that will be it. Goodbye.
You like that? I do.